Buckle up. Buckle up because it's going to be a long one. I love when I feel like goalposts have been moved, narratives are getting shifted. For the longest part, it's Xbox has no games. Xbox no longer being making a console. Xbox is leaving. Yay, we're happy. They don't make good games anyway. To all of a sudden, we're getting Photoshop images of Halo Infinite on PlayStation 5 and saying, yes, bring the games over here. We want what games? It said the games didn't exist. We're gonna dive into some stuff, man. This is gonna be a long one, man. So get your popcorn ready. Go ahead and sit back, kick your feet up. Cause I was tagged in a video on Twitter. And we're gonna go through it, but it's a long one. Look at that, 31 minutes. We'll see if we get to the whole thing, but I initially heard like the first 3 minutes, and I was like, yeah, we're going there. We're going there. Let's see what this young man has to say.
Kind of you, but Crispy, listen. Based off of everything that I'm witnessing right now, I am convinced. I'm 90% convinced that Xbox is going to become a third-party publisher.
Stop. So, Minecraft, Call of Duty, there's a numerous amount of games that are on PlayStation or Nintendo. Those are third-party games, right? Isn't Xbox already publishing first-party titles on other platforms? Just like PlayStation is also considered technically a third-party platform holder, third-party game when Xbox got MLB The Show. This is something that's already happening. This isn't brand new. This isn't new news. You're 90% sure Xbox is going to be a third-party publisher. And the fact of the matter is they already are.
I do believe this. I think that, again, if you just look at the signs, they're clear as day, where it's like, well, can Microsoft be a third-party publisher if they're still making consoles?
They already are!
I mean, they could do whatever they like.
Granted, every Xbox first-party game isn't on other consoles, right? But they have first-party titles on other consoles. They currently make consoles, which means, just like PlayStation, they make a console and they also do third-party games on other platforms. Is it the whole slate? No. But there's something that already exists. But we're acting like this big brain moment. Oh my God. I foresee Xbox shipping games on other platforms. Oh my God! I think Microsoft's going to put their games on other platforms.
They could, yes. I know that sounds insane, but they absolutely could. It
already
would be
are
unprecedented. It would be the first of its kind, but Microsoft could do that. They could just say, we are becoming a major third-party publisher, and we're still going to produce consoles for. If for some reason you want to buy our console.
Now I guess someone's going to say, fam, you know what he's talking about. He's talking about them putting all get that, and I understand, but that's not what he's saying. He's acting as if this is something that's going to be brand new, something that's going to be revolutionary and groundbreaking. In reality, Xbox is already doing this. How many times does Phil Spencer Xbox have to tell you that they're trying to reach 1 billion gamers, right? At the end of the day, are you going to be playing Halo Infinite on your PlayStation 5? No. Is Xbox already a third-party publisher that also sells a console? Yes. Just like PlayStation.
It's there if you want it. Let me ask you, how far away are they from that right now?
They're already doing it.
How far away are the only thing that's stopping them is just, I guess, this idea that the next the next Doom is going to be Xbox only. It's not coming to.
The only thing I'm gonna keep it $1.50, $1.50, $1.50, $1.75. The only thing keeping Xbox and If you guys think I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. The only thing keeping Xbox right now from putting its games on PlayStation, as far as the whole slate, is PlayStation. Tell me, y'all, tell me if I'm lying. If PlayStation say, you know what, we want to put Game Pass on PlayStation, Microsoft would do it. Well, PlayStation would be dumb to do that. And that's the conversation for another day, for another video, about PlayStation. If they did that, they would completely cannibalize their own service, right? They're not going to do that. That's the only thing holding them back. Because yes, the next Wolfenstein, yes, the next Doom, all of those will be Xbox exclusive, right? And Xbox is banking on that because they know for a fact they're going to be selling consoles, they're going to be selling subscription services because of highly anticipated games like the next Doom, highly anticipated games like the next Wolfenstein, right? All of these games that people know and love and are big and are game of the year contender type games, right? People are anticipating those, and they're going to do what they need to play it, because at the end of the day, gamers play games.
PlayStation 5 or the next Nintendo Switch. And yes, but why? I mean, really ask yourself that question. But why not?
What? So, why does PlayStation only sell Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation? Ask yourself, why not put it on Xbox? Are we really going to do this thing to where we're saying, hey, Xbox, I understand you have these first-party games and these first-party titles, but, why not put them on PlayStation? And we think that's a conversation. And then if someone says, hey, PlayStation, I know you got Wolverine coming up and Spider-Man 2 and the next Last of Us, they're going to sell great on PlayStation, but why not put it on Xbox? We're not having those conversations, right? We don't want these games on PlayStation to go to Xbox, but you want the games on Xbox to go to PlayStation, even though we've been told for the longest period of time that Xbox has no games.
Because I guess the idea is, well, if we don't put this game on PlayStation 5 or the next Nintendo Switch, we're going to force people to go seek out Game Pass.
Did the light bulb go off in this? Did the light bulb turn on? Did it turn on? Yes. PlayStation has games like Spider-Man 2, like I just mentioned, that's not on Xbox. And what you're going to do, you're going to go seek out a PlayStation because you want to play Spider-Man. Games like Doom, Wolfenstein, Hellblade 2, games that are coming up are not on PlayStation. What are you going to do? You're going to go seek out Xbox or Xbox Game Pass. Yes, that is the point. That is the entire point. You got it. You figured it out. Congratulations. Congrats. I'm proud of you.
But are you really forcing anybody?
Yes.
I asked this question because it's like, well, let me get this straight. If you release the next Doom as let's say Microsoft goes third-party publisher.
They already are.
And they announced the next Doom is multi-plat. You can get it on the PS5. You can get it on the next gen
Why would they
Switch,
do that?
You can get it on the Xbox, and you can get it through Game Pass. How does Microsoft lose?
How does PlayStation lose if they announce the next Wolverine game is on PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and PC? How does PlayStation lose? If I made a video and I said these things, I would get crucified. Because at the end of the day, no, these companies will not lose. Because if a game is good, it's going to get bought on multiple platforms, right? So they're going to win. But you guys talk about exclusivity, and that has been in the hip pocket for so many gamers for so long. Exclusivity, right? That's what moves the needle. That's what drives things. And now we're saying, oh, wait a minute. You won't lose being multi-plat, but you're only saying that to Xbox. You're only saying that to Xbox. That's it. Why is Super Mario Wonder not on PlayStation? You're not saying, hey, Nintendo. I mean, it's not going to hurt you to let us play Mario on PS5. It's not going to hurt you. You're going to make more money. Why is this conversation one way? Right? If you're going to be of the mindset of the more places games are, the better for everyone, right? And that's not a bad hill to stand on. I'm not going to knock someone for saying, hey, man, everything should be everywhere. I'm not going to say, hey, that's a bad way of thinking. I'm not going to do that because that's your opinion. Opinions are like yesterday's. Everybody got one, right? But you can't sit on the line to say, we want this for one side, but don't you dare, man, say you want Spider-Man and Wolverine on another platform. Those stay on PlayStation because we want to be able to brag. We want to be able to brag about having these games and you don't. But by the way, make sure I can play Halo Infinite, Starfield, Doom, Wolfenstein on my PlayStation because what do you have to lose? When everyone plays, everyone wins, right? But don't you dare try to get my games. Come on now. What are we doing?
By doing that. That's a serious question. How do they don't? They lose nothing. Instead, they get a great, what I assume will be a great game, day one into Game Pass, incentivizing people to subscribe to Game Pass. And if they don't want Game Pass, we'll take your $70. Sure. You want the Switch version? We'll take that 70.
Never mind. I don't want to be the dead horse.
Nintendo will get like a 30% cut. PlayStation will get a 30% cut. Because that's the thing is...
These people don't want to hear their same argument. I could make this exact same argument the other way around, and I would get blasted. They wouldn't want to hear it. They would not want to hear that, right? And I am in the notion of people who have extremely large audiences like this guy does, right? He has a large audience, right? He has a big following on YouTube. I am in the notion of when you have a large audience, you have an obligation to be truthful, real, honest. Have a conversation in good faith. This is not a good faith argument. This is, hey, I love PlayStation. I prefer PlayStation. Hey, you Xbox, I don't want you. I don't want to buy your console. I don't want to subscribe to your service. You have no games. So those games you have over there, I should be able to play them on my platform because, you'll win.
How many people, like, a game like Starfield, I understand. Because Starfield is supposed to be like this is, again, it's like a generational game. I can understand that.
Whoa. I thought it was the Xbox fans running with that logic of Starfield being a generational game, and that's why every chance people get, they talk bad about it because it's a generational game. But this is a person who does not, he despises Xbox. He's a PlayStation diehard, and he says Starfield is a generational type game, so he understands, which completely goes against your argument of the why not. It goes against your argument of the why not. What do you have to lose? It completely destroys that. I mean, completely. But, okay.
But when we talk about something like Call of Duty, everybody talks about how, dude, Call of Duty is going to drive so many Game Pass subscribers.
And it will.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm asking that question. Like, I'm asking this question to everybody who's listening. Is it? Is Call of Duty launching day one onto Game Pass? I guess
Call of Duty, the next Black Ops 2024 or whatever it may be, it will launch into Game Pass, and it's going to be massive, right? This is one of the most anticipated CODs, even more, and then a while, right? 'Cause you're looking at a 4-year development cycle. It's going to be in Game Pass. You ask somebody, hey, do you want to pay $70 for the next COD, or do you want to pay $10 for the next COD, or you want to buy it for a year, which is like $110, $120, and you get Call of Duty plus next year. Let's say we're dropping Avowed, we're dropping Hellblade. You get all the games plus Call of Duty. Yes, it will. Call of Duty. Let's not pretend here. Let's not pretend. Call of Duty is one of the highest selling games of all time. It's one of the top selling games every single year it releases. Right? It's going to move Game Pass like crazy. The first COD in Game Pass is going to be ridiculous. People will shift. They will. Let's not pretend, right, that Call of Duty isn't Call of Duty. Let's not pretend.
Next year's, I think it's been confirmed or it's been rumored it's going to be another Black Ops game. Call of Duty Black Ops, what is it, 5 or 6 at this point? It's going to drop day one onto Xbox Game Pass. Is it going to skyrocket Game Pass subscriber numbers?
Yes.
Are millions of people going to flock to Game Pass now and pay that $10?
You look like you want to lie. We just know you're not going to tell the truth. We know you're not going to tell the truth. We see it because the answer is yes. The answer is yes. It's yes.
Or is it just going to produce, a little growth? Modest growth. Honestly, the next year's Call of Duty sounds great.
Some honesty.
I want nothing to do with MW3 based off of everything I've seen, but the rumor about next year's Treyarch Call of Duty, it's set in the 90s, Gulf War, still continuing Black Ops. I'm like, okay. 4 years of development? 4 years of development? I'm in. Yeah, 100%, dude. I loved Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I did. I really enjoyed that game. So I've always liked Treyarch. I gotta admit, I'm actually pretty happy that Treyarch got 4 years of development, because it's like the biggest problem with MW3 is clearly that they just.
Hey, listen, I ain't no hater. I point out things that I think are ridiculous. Hey man, he's not. He's at least he's not doing the Call of Duty sucks now, and I'll never buy another, because that went rampant. You'll never get my money, Activision. Call of Duty sucks. At least he's being honest. He's excited for it, and I hope it's good. And I hope he enjoys
time.
It. No matter the platform.
Sledgehammer was clearly under pressure. Like, you guys got to get this shit ready to go, like, tomorrow, and you can't really blame them. But Treyarch. Yeah, dude, having 4 years, I'm excited. The only thing that gets me a little bit nervous is that David Vonderhaar left the big mind behind doing, but I'm excited. But I got a little bit distracted there. But the reason why I'm asking this question, like, will Call of Duty actually drive a substantial amount of Game Pass subscribers?
Yes.
My gut reaction to that question, or my gut instinct, not reaction, but my instinctive, intuitive answer is yes, it will.
You did all of that yapping, and you did all of that. Is it going to sell Game Pass, or is it going to be, okay, modest? You did all of this. You did all of this. Why? We trying to build up hype and momentum. I wish I'd have been inside this live stream. I wish I'd have been, because you did all of that yapping, all of that snapping, asking, is it going to be this and that? And you go off, you remember, I guess your brain started working, and brain cells started connecting, and you was like, man, this is going to be great. Maybe I should answer my own question when I ask, is it going to be greatness, or is it going to be men? I'm like, let me talk some more, and act like it's going to suck. And then, yeah, it's going to sell like gangbusters. Come on, bro.
I think it has to. I think that marketing push will be insanely aggressive, where it's in your fucking face, like Game Pass, Call of Duty, Game Pass, Call of Duty. The two are going to start.
And that's what's going to make Game Pass subscribers go through the roof. When you go into GameStop, wherever COD going to be marketed, Microsoft going to tell it's the stores or whatever, it's going to be marketed, get it now on Game Pass. That's how it's going to be marketed. Right? That's all you're going to see is COD and Game Pass. When you see a COD commercial, play it day one. Xbox Game Pass. Vroom. You know that sound that the Xbox thing, man. Vroom. Right? That's what it's going to do. Play Call of Duty now. Day one. Xbox Game Pass. starting right now for $10.99. Vroom. We see it coming, and it's going to work.
Start to go together like peanut butter and jelly, right? Like that's the type of marketing push.
And again, I applaud this young man for being honest. He being honest because I feel like he wasn't being genuine earlier, but right now you're being genuine. You got two. You got 2 fame points.
We're gonna have
Vroom.
And I think it is going to lead to a lot of people just being like, well, I don't have to pay for, but that's the thing. See, that's the question we then have to ask ourselves. One of the major things Microsoft will have to push for Call of Duty. Now, this is where we will see a potentially unprecedented version of Microsoft when it comes to their games division, where you could say, well, Microsoft has already been doing that. Sony wants you to pay full price for their games, and they make it clear.
Remember earlier in the show, now I was talking about the third part thing. I said Microsoft already done. I wish he would have, said that too, but whatever.
You're going to pay full price if you want our games. Microsoft, on the other hand, has actually leaned into don't buy our games, just subscribe. Don't buy our games, just subscribe. Now, they haven't actively said don't buy our games.
Okay.
But they're like one step away from saying.
That's 3 fame points. Because I'm going to say, since when has Microsoft ever said that? But yes, Microsoft does, when they, about their game, they're pushing Game Pass, right? And I give them that. I thought, you had me, he had me in the first half, I ain't going to lie. He had me in the first half, I ain't going to lie. But he redeemed it, so we're good.
They're conditioning their audience and their player base to subscribe to Game Pass for our games. That's what we want you to do, and stay subscribed.
I can't say nothing about that.
I really want to know
about that.
If they're going to push that with Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is the best seller every year. Every single year, Call of Duty is the best selling game. Like, without fail. It would be wild, and I mean wild, if Microsoft actually tried to push people away from buying it and instead subscribing to Game Pass.
You are almost there.
And if they were to do that,
almost there.
It would show a new.
They're not gonna prevent you or make you want to not buy the game, right? That doesn't make any sense because they're still gonna make hand over fist. I mean, will they want you to buy it? Preferably on Xbox, of course, but they know you're gonna buy it on PlayStation, buy it on the Switch 2 if the Switch 2 was out when the next Call of Duty gets released. But they're not gonna just discourage you from buying it because they win no matter what. They win no matter what. Either you're gonna switch over to Game Pass or you're gonna buy the game. There is no lose for Microsoft when it comes to Call of Duty. Some titles I can see them wanting to push it, more towards Game Pass, but Call of Duty. It doesn't matter.
Level of commitment to Game Pass that was not previously there because you are actively asking people to stop buying a yearly best-selling game and instead please go subscribe. That would be pretty crazy. But, then again, if the way Microsoft might see it is if we can convince a Call of Duty purchaser who is willing to pay $7 for the game to subscribe and then stay subscribed for 12 months.
I'm starting to like this man because
the amount of money that would
he takes 2 steps back, but then he do take 3 steps forward. Then he'll take a giant 2 steps back. But I'm starting to like him a little bit, okay, because at least he's talking through the stuff that he's saying. He's talking through
like
it. He's like, okay,
$140.
This makes sense.
It's almost like
two
games.
I like them.
I
like them. I like revenue, you, sir.
Essentially, double the amount of money from this customer who would have originally just bought the game. And that's not even counting like if they buy skins or the battle pass or anything. Now, the reason why I'm going so deep into this conversation is because I really think somebody mentioned earlier how we don't have to talk about the AB. Josh mentioned it earlier. We don't have to talk about the ABK deal anymore. It's over. I agree, but man, is it going to be critical
Please
to pay
don't go
attention to
backwards.
how Microsoft handles Activision going forward, because
We know how to handle Activision going forward. Let's keep it a buck. We're likely not going to see anything exclusive on the Xbox side for Activision Blizzard for a long time. Okay, the only exclusive you could possibly see is when it comes to native play, because the Ubisoft is going to be getting Activision Blizzard games. They're going to license. I mean, they're going to be getting them for the streaming services, and for streaming, they're going to license the streaming rights for those games to PlayStation, to Netflix, whatever the case may be. So you could possibly see a game from Activision Blizzard that can only be natively played on Xbox and PC, but you can stream it on PlayStation Premium or whatever the streaming service. You can stream it, but not play it natively. We know how this is going to work. For the next 10 years, Xbox gamers, PlayStation gamers, ABK games are still going to be everywhere. Everything. Anything new, it's not going to be like Bethesda, to where PlayStation gamers have no access to ABK games, right? They'll have access to ABK games via Ubisoft licensing the streaming rights to PlayStation Plus, and then they'll be able to stream the games on their PlayStation. So the only exclusive thing you really be is, and if I could be wrong about this, from what I've seen, it'll be the only place you'll be able to get it natively, without having to stream or through a streaming services, is Xbox and PC. This isn't new news.
No one knows. I don't even know if Microsoft knows. They might be still trying to figure it out. But I have to imagine they've been devising a plan this entire time. If we get ABK, what do we do? What do we do the first year that we own them? Well,
you really want them games on PlayStation?
The communication's going to change. First and foremost, the way Microsoft communicates with everybody is going to change, because they now own the biggest gaming publisher in the world. So their communication has to change. And that is where everything hinges on that. I am convinced at this point in time that they are going to go third party. I'm not saying they're going to announce next year.
Every time, bro. I say I like Buddy. I do. I like him. I like you, sir. If somebody has decided to bring you over here and let's see how far you get, you don't clip the first 2 minutes of me going ham. And we looking, 27 minutes in and saying, I like you, bro. I like you. I think you all right. But I'll be damned if you don't constantly take 2 steps forward every time you get ahead.
We're going third party. No, I don't think it's going to happen that quick. But somebody asked me earlier, do I think Microsoft's going to make a next-gen console? I don't know. I want to say they might give it one more shot. One more shot.
You don't know.
Where they're like, look, we have Activision now.
One more.
We have Call of Duty. We have all these games, but the fact that Call of Duty isn't exclusive and won't be for at least...
At the end of the day, what you really want here is what we said at the beginning of the video. You want Xbox games on PlayStation. But because you want to play those games. Let's just keep it $1.50. If you're saying that you will play these games on PlayStation, that means you want to play these games, right? Now, I'm not talking about the people who can't afford it. But gaming is an expensive hobby, right? And I see y'all out here buying 17,000 controllers, 4 of the same console. I see y'all doing this, right? And you want these games on PlayStation. You want to be able to play these games, but you don't want to play them on the Xbox. Or play them on PC. Make that make sense to me. If you're one of those that's watching this video and you want to play Halo Infinite, you want to play Starfield, you want to play the next Doom, you want to play, Indiana Jones, you want to play Hellblade, but you only want to play them on PlayStation. Make that make sense to me. And I know, because you got a PS5, a PS5 Slim, you got a DualSense Edge, you got all the colors, you got all the plates, you got all the games. I know you got $300 to go buy your Series S so you can play the games that you want to play on PlayStation and just play the game, right? Just play the game. I can't. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. if you're a PlayStation fan, and at the end of the day, this thing works both ways. If you're anticipating Wolverine, you're anticipating Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 3, go get a PlayStation. If you want to play Hellblade 2, you want to play Indiana Jones, you want to play the next Doom, Wolfenstein, new IPs, etc., go get an Xbox. No hate to this creator. I like you, bro. You just you walk cross-eyed. You walk 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. But you're getting there. I like you. No hate. All love. Play video games. Peace.